Over the last 2 weeks, we have been showcasing to you 4 potential golden generations that could lead their nations to World Cup glory in the future. And when the dust settled, only 2 remained. The under-23 side of England, who has the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jadon Sancho. 2 youngsters who are already the second highest rated players in their position in FIFA 21. But then the other team is the under-23 side of France, who has the 90 rated cover athlete in Mbappe, who pretty much single-handedly decimated Brazil. Yes, boys, get a semi, because we are doing under-23 England versus under-23 France. To find out truly which country has the best golden generation of this generation. Yes, we're going to take these 2 hyper-talented young cores, put them into career mode, sim up a season, see which one finishes higher in a season. But the real deal is when we take these 2 teams and go 11 on 11 in a live action match. CPU on CPU, I'm not going to touch anything. And if you are excited to see which young core really is going to reign supreme, go ahead, take your hard erect dimple, smush the like button right now, subscribe if you are new. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us start it off with the winner of the England versus US bout, and that, of course, was England. Now, they definitely had the easier route in the bracket. I mean, yes, the under-23 US side is hyper talented, but a lot of that talent hasn't really come to fruition. And when it came to overall ratings, it was going to be very tough beating the likes of an 85 rated Rashford, Jadon Sancho, who's already the second highest rated right mid in the game, and then you have Trent Alexander-Arnold's coming in 87, one of the higher rated right backs in, the past 5 years in FIFA. And there are just so many talented names. Calvert-Lewin has been an absolute weapon for Everton this season. Phil Foden sometimes looks like the best player for Man City when he's out there. Declan Rice having a fantastic season for West Ham, who's really high up in the table. Same thing with Madison. All these youngsters playing significant roles for some of the best teams in Europe. And then you got Chilwell at left back, who's pretty solid. And I will say probably the weakness of this side is Joe Gomez. Although, I mean, he is 83 rated. And then you got Holgate, who's coming in at 77. Pretty respectable. And even though the keeper is only 80 rated, that is the highest rated keeper of any of these young cores. And on top of that, just look at all the talent that they have on the bench. Mason Mount can't get into this lineup. Wan-Bissaka can't get into this lineup. Saka, who's probably Arsenal's best player right now, can't even get in. And then so much more. Mason Greenwood, Jude Bellingham, Hudson-Odoi, Tammy Abraham. This Ben White kid's probably going to go for like 50, 60 million in the transfer window. And then you got other guys in Tamari, Jones, Sessegnon, and Longstaff. If you combine these youngsters with the current England squad, who I would argue maybe overperformed at the last World Cup, you got a very promising core for probably the next 2 to 3 World Cups. But this under-23 England squad comes out to an attack of 82, a mid of 80, and a defense of 82. Very respectable. But how does it compare to the under-23 side of France? Now I could gush pretty much all day about all these high potential youngsters. I think like the lowest person in here, their potential is 85 in the starting lineup. Any career mode fan is going to salivate over a midfield of Aouar, Ndombele, the names of Upamecano, Lafont. Freaking Camavinga is going to be the new age Tielemans. But in the previous showdown, it really just came down to Mbappe. He was nigh unstoppable in his match against Brazil. It was single-handedly the most dominant in-game performance I have seen in almost any experiment in all of the experiments that I have shown on this channel, and that is icons included. Now, major caveat, it was a 90 rated Mbappe versus, an under-23 Brazilian squad who did not have the best backline, but still, even with that, it was incredible. The cover athlete boost is a real thing. I cannot prove it, but 100% it's real. And then just look at the attacking pace here. You got Mbappe, who's at 96 pace. You got Ousmane Dembele, who's at 92 pace. And then Diaby on the left side is 94 pace. And all of them are above 80. In fact, I just noticed this team is incredibly pacey. Their midfielders in Nkunku, Aouar, and Ndombele are all in the mid to high 70s. And then backline, you have Theo Hernandez coming in at 92 pace. Koundé, who's almost at 80 pace. Upamecano, who is at 80 pace, and then Mukiele, who's at 83. And then in between the 6, you got Alban Lafont, who's at 78, who's only 2 points less than Dean Henderson. And you look at the bench, and it's still an embarrassment of riches. Saint Maximin, Zegadao, Ikone, Moussa Dembele, Kamara, Camavinga, obviously, Meisler, Konate, another career mode favorite, Gondozi's on here, Ndika, and Simicon. And they are the defending world champions. You're probably playing Karim Benzema on top. You got Mbappe over on the left, Antoine Griezmann maybe over on the right, and then a midfield of Pogba and Kanté combined with, I don't know, take your pick, Aouar and Nkunku, and Ndombele. That amount of talent could easily rival anyone, and they are going to probably be the favorites for the next couple World Cups. With this under-23 France side coming out to an attack of 83, a mid of 80, and a defense of 81. But now let's take these 2 teams, put them into career mode, and sim up a season. Let's go, Time Wizard!
Go, Time Wizard!
Alright guys, as you can see, we sit on June 1st of 2021. Let's see how these youngsters did at the end of the season. Now before we hop into the end of season stats, I wanted to spice this up just a little bit. So not only is the French youngster team in here, I believe I also threw in the United States here, just, you know. That being said, the highest player of any of them is an Englishman, and it is James Maddison. I was not expecting that. He came in 3rd place, and then you have Mbappe only coming in 7th. Although very respectable, 18 goals, and James Maddison scored 21. My God. Then we have another Englishman coming in 20th place with Hudson-Odoi. He scored 14, and Christian Pulisic makes the list for the Americans with 11. We go over to assists, and it is Edison Cavani who takes that title, and the highest of the youngsters is Mbappe, who comes in 4th place. He had 9 assists, although Jadon Sancho right behind him with 8. And the only other youngster on here is Dembele, all the way down in 25th place with 5 assists. And we go over to clean sheets. Edison takes that title, but we go down here, and it is Paris Saint-Germain's Albin Lafont who comes in 7th place with a respectable 8. And then the Englishman Dean Henderson comes in 12th place with 5. So if we're going off of this, it does seem like the French side probably finished higher up in the table. All right, sad note, I did include the Americans in here, and they finished dead last. Yeah, 18 points, but you know, they'll be good in a couple years. It's fine. But going up the list, let's see Chelsea, Wolves, Aston Villa, West Ham, Everton. Okay. Oh, and there it is. Liverpool and the Englishman finished in 7th place with only 59 points. Let's see how high. Okay, and Paris Saint-Germain finished in 7th place. They defeat the Englishman by 11 points. And let's see, you know, let's just round it out. I assumed as Man City, and we had 90 points, decimating Spurs and Manchester United. But this is all kind of window dressing. What really matters is when we take the 11-on-11 in an unofficial Under-23 World Cup final bout. But before we get into that, a quick word from today's sponsor. This video is brought to you by ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN creates a virtual private network that is your own little secure tunnel to the internet, hidden from hackers, the government, and big tech, all looking to harvest your private data. And with COVID keeping everyone inside right now, you need online protection more than ever. And beyond security, ExpressVPN allows you to change your IP address to different countries, allowing you to access region block content. Well, I saw Rick and Morty was available on UK Netflix, and with ExpressVPN, I easily changed my region to the UK and got Swifty. And for my UK viewers, I got a freaking pro tip for you right now. How would you like to watch the entirety of the Premier League for $5 a month only? Yes, for $5 a month, you can subscribe to the new Peacock service, but the only catch is it's only available in the US. But if you have ExpressVPN, switch your region to the US, and voila. Every EPL game for $5 a month. You can't beat that deal. All the while being protected by the #1 ranked VPN by CNET, The Verge, Wired, Tech Radar, and more. Now, I personally use it every time I torrent or I have to plug in my credit card online. I see it as a condom. If you're not using protection now, you're eventually going to pay for it. And best of all, you can get 3 months for free. All you got to do is click the link down below. It's going to be at the top of the description box. Thank you to ExpressVPN again for sponsoring this video. Now back to the show. But here we go, 11-on-11. I'm not going to be touching anything. This is going to be all CPU with competitor mode on Legendary. Mbappe and Rashford leading their respective sides out, and they'll be playing, just imagine, as this is a, you know, World Cup trophy, I guess. But this is the matchup that everybody wanted. A tantalizing trio up there with so much pace for France. And even then, just look through the names in Nkunku, Aouar, Ndombele, freaking Upamecano, Jules Koundé. Pretty much a treasure trove of everyone you would ever want to buy in career mode. Then on the other side, you got the golden generation coming out of England, the likes of Jadon Sancho, Phil Foden, who's looking fantastic lately, Marcus Rashford, and Dean Henderson is higher rated than Albin Lafont, so we'll actually have 2 somewhat competent keepers in this. And hey man, we might very well be looking at a primetime matchup for a couple of World Cups to come. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Under-23 France versus Under-23 England is now underway. We're going to play it centrally to Calvin Lewin. Lewin back to Foden. Beautiful ball to Maddison. Back to Foden. Gets over to Calvin Lewin. Go for the spectacular. Twice with the kind of the kick up. But yeah, no dice. The talisman for Man City. What's he going to do here? Over to Maddison. Gets it over to Foden. He's going to get there. Oh, and Albin Lafont just fast enough off of his line. Mukiele was beat. Wrong-sided. What? Lafont gave it directly to Calvin Lewin. Well, luckily Upamecano able to clean up the mess. You know, even though these are the best youngsters in the world, they are still somewhat not the highest rated players overall. You're going to see a couple of sloppy movements there. Ooh, Diaby in space, goes inside, gets it back to Aouar and Nkunku. They kind of reset here. Oh, Diaby, was he even onside? Let's see it right here. He was onside, and he just puts it out. Oh, no, he was off. Never mind. There's a late raising of the flag there. Maddison had a fantastic season in the sim. What can he do here? Looking to try to fit it inside. Calvin-Lewin, can he turn his defender? Gets it over to Phil Foden. He's there, and Albert Lafont once again denies him. All right, feeding it through. Oh, and Aouar's in. Whoa, what a kick save from Dean Henderson. I thought for sure we were about to see the opener, but both of these young keepers have been up to the task. And that is going to be it. I mean, it's been a very active, very entertaining first half, and, you know, as entertaining as a 0-0 can be. And I would say no fault to either team. They've been able to break down the sides. It's just the keepers have been standing on their heads. So, yeah, anything can happen in the second half. Diaby playing essentially to our kind of loosely marked here. Playing back to Nkuku. Both of them playmakers. And Nkuku, oh, look at the deft little touch. The ever so delightful, subtle touch here rounds Dean Henderson and slots it home. You can see it right here. Aouar puts it back with the left foot, kind of rounds the defender, Holgate. And then look at that. Just the first touch takes it around Dean Henderson and slots it at the near post. And Nkuku is the one that opens up the scoring in the 52nd minute. And I have a single suspicion it's not going to be the last goal we see in this one. Nothing. Bereft of ideas. Not good. Not. Oh! Just when I say that, James Maddison finds the channel. Just a brain fart in the back line of PSG allows James Maddison a clean run in on net. I guess we should have expected it from him. He was fantastic in the sim season. Runs the channel there, and you can see that the player, whoever 22 is, goes ahead and takes a step up and allows James Maddison to make the run behind, forcing the defender into a tough decision. Probably should have ran with the deeper runner, but there we go. Kudos to England. Are the youngsters going to be bringing it home? And let's go. Goals from somewhat unexpected sources in Nkuku and James Maddison, the two cams providing it. We barely whisper the names of Mbappe, Rashford, Sancho, Nkuku. Oh, Aouar's in. He's going to shoot. Oh my God, an instant response. The midfielders are running rampant through both of their defenses. If I'll be honest, what is going on? It's just tired back legs. Lacks defending. Who's that, Maddison? I think James Maddison just failed to mark Aouar. Yeah, Maddison just failed to mark Aouar. Did not continue his run. Joe Gomez cannot get there in time. And that is an exquisite shot. That is not an easy shot, to say the least, to round Dean Henderson. Fantastic showing from the young Frenchman, who's undoubtedly going to be playing for bigger teams shortly. 72nd minute, there's still just a bit of time. England can get back into this. There we go. Declan Rice making a forward run for the CDM position. Calvin-Lewin, been rather quiet. Deft little turns here. Oh, lovely. Rashford. Oh, Mukiele picks it off of his foot right before he could get the shot off. It was looking pretty good for a second, but now France on the counter. And Ousmane Dembele, he's got acres of space in front of him. Mbappe, is he going to make a run to the far post? No, he cuts off Joe Gomez out of nowhere. 1 minute to get up the field. They got to go. All penetration, all now. Just go for it, bro. I don't think it's going to do it. It's past the 2-minute mark, and this pass is probably going to go backwards, and that is going to be it. It was a hard-fought match. Both sides easily could have scored maybe 2 to 3 more. But on paper, I think, yeah, you would have slightly given the edge to Mbappe and the boys. Although Mbappe, rather quiet. And the goals coming from rather unexpected places. Ultimately, it came down to lax defending and lax marking. But let me know in the comments down below. Do you think of these 4 cores, the best team won? I would say yeah. You know, I think you'd be hard-pressed to be angry at this. But yeah, let's give it to Mbappe and this young French core. The defending world champions, apparently, also have the best young core in the world. Gonna be tough for the likes of, you know, Brazil, the Netherlands, Portugal, the United States, England, all these countries with really, really talented youngsters. We all have to remember that, yeah, France, still lying to the heat. And with that, we're gonna conclude this kind of unofficial look at all the best young cores in FIFA 21. This was a fun little competition. If you want to see me do, you know, maybe like the best old players up against each other, I think that could be kind of fun. Me being an old man, I think. And I will say next week is going to be April Fool's, and I got a little special video coming out for that. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, go ahead, subscribe right now. And if you already are, go ahead, hit the notification bell off and put it back on, as YouTube has been a little bit wonky with delivering my videos everywhere. But yeah, that's going to be it from me. I'd like to go ahead and take this opportunity to thank all of my patrons keeping me alive during the global pandemic. Thank you guys so much. Go ahead and click over here, Dingsy Poos, and this will take you to all the other competitions that we had recently. Or if you want something completely different, go ahead and click over here, Dingsy Poos. Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be it for me, BMOnus. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Remember to stay yourself, stay humble. Until next time, boys, stay thick.